We're back, baby! To tell the truth, we're back, baby!
The truth with your host, Bud Collier.
So I skipped. I skipped ahead a bunch. The last one I watched was like, last episode I watched was from like 1960, I think. And this episode's from 1963. So the show's been around a while. It seems like they got two of the same panelists that they had before. Kitty and Tom, I think is his name. Yeah, this is gonna be juicy, dude. They're all kind of creepy because it's obviously the 1960s, so they say some weird stuff.
By Salem Cigarettes. Good evening, panel.
No way. A cigarette sponsor on TV? That's crazy. Salem Cigarettes. That's crazy.
I'd like to take this moment to welcome officially and very warmly, for the first time to tell the truth, Theodore Bickel, consummate actor, singer, recording artist, and Theo, it's a joy to have you with us.
Thank you very much. For a notorious liar to be on this program is great.
Will you kindly open up your envelopes, take out your first affidavit card for the first time, and follow along with me. I, Naomi Brassard, am a comedienne, a former Copa girl, and part-time model. Until recently, I was a receptionist in a girdle showroom. Last October, in competition with 40 other actresses, I won an audition for an important part in a comedy record album. The album has become the best-selling LP of all time. I am the voice of the first, all claiming to be the same one, namely Naomi Brassard, the voice of the First Lady on the First Family album. And we start this questioning with Peggy Katz. Peggy?
Number one, who produced the record?
Earl Dowd and Bob Booker.
Number two, they wrote it, but who produced it?
They produced it.
Thank you. Number three, what record company is the name of the record company? The
Cadence Records.
Number one, who's the head of Cadence Records?
Archie Blyer.
Thank you. Number two, did you get paid a flat fee? Are you on a percentage of the record, I hope?
Unfortunately, I was hungry and I took a flat fee.
Oh. Well, that's it. Oh, number three, when President Kennedy was asked about this record, what did he say?
He thought it was great fun, and he's ordered 100 copies.
Thank you.
Theo.
100 copies. Right. What is the, number two, what is the payment at the Copa?
$100 a week.
Did you, number three, did you pose for the album cover?
Along with the others, of course.
Yes. Number one, where was the album cover taken?
The back of it was superimposed. The White House was superimposed, and the rest was taken on Central Park.
All right. Number one, what union do you have to belong to make such a record?
Astra?
You're paid up, I suppose. All right. How stiff, number two, how stiff was the competition?
There were 40 girls. I had to try out with 40 girls.
Kitty.
Number one, had you ever done any impersonations or imitations before?
All my life.
Number two, did you do them when you were a receptionist in the girdle showroom?
Oh, sure. I used to imitate everybody there.
They must have loved
What's there to imitate?
Number three, when you were at the Copa, did you know somebody called Paul Shelley? No, I didn't. Number one, did you?
No, I didn't.
Number two, who was the head of the Copa when you were there?
Julie Podell.
Number three, was Julie Podell the head when you were there? Yes. Number one, how many... Oh.
Tom.
Thank you. We found out who produced it and who wrote it. Number three, what does Earl Dowd look like?
Earl, forgive me. He's kind of chubby, and he's got a beard that's redder than his own hair.
Number two, do you know where Earl lives?
Well, he's always moving around, so now I'm not quite sure.
Thank you. Number one, where was Vaughn Meter working when you cut the album?
At Phase 2 in the Village.
At Phase 2. Number three, what are his plans regarding the Blue Angel? Do you know? Number three?
Well, he just finished at the Angel, and we're going on tour.
That's all we have time for. I'm sorry to say some fascinating facts might still be brought out, and maybe later. After the show, we can get together and chat, but right now, it's time for you to mark your ballots. So will you kindly do so, panel? Mark them immediately and without change.
I have no clue. I have no idea. It's like, I feel like it's clearly 2. Because she seems like actress type, but all of them kind of do. But she answered the question so quickly, but I don't just want to go with her because she's who, like, my mind said that made it up at the very start. I was like, that's the one, before they even asked questions. So I don't want to pick her because usually my gut instinct is completely wrong on these. So I'm just going to go with number 1. Number 1, she answered, well, no, number 3 answered questions very well as well. Oh, God damn it, dude. I'm going with number 1.
Change, and of course, without consultation. As you vote for number 1, number 2, or number 3. And our team of challengers will, of course, receive the...
I feel like number 2 is an actress. They might all be actresses, and that's why they all answered the question so well. So they might all be actresses, but the specific one for this guy's album, I think, is number 1.
The customary $250 for every incorrect vote indulged in by our panelists. All ballots marked? Ooh, and eager, too. Tom, for whom did you vote?
Well, I voted for number 3. I thought there was a certain forthrightness and frankness about the answers. I must say that the ladies certainly seemed to know what they were doing. Either they're all 3 working on that record, or they've been very well studied.
Peggy, your choice.
Well, I voted for number 2 because I saw Jackie Kennedy do that White House tour, and she sort of talks to us and she says, well, and the voice is the same.
Theo, your choice.
Well, I voted for number 1 because, first of all, she knew about phase 2, and that's in the village, that's where I live, and secondly, she had Jackie Kennedy's sibilant S's. That's good.
Kitty.
So do you.
I voted for number 3 for the very same reasons you all gave. I thought they were marvelously well informed, and I thought I could detect a tiny bit of Mrs. Kennedy's enchanting soft voice in number 3.
Very well, there we have it. The die is cast, and we have now the moment of truth as we learn which one of these young ladies actually is the voice of the First Lady in the album of the First Family. And here to pick out his own First Lady is the head of the First Family, Vaughn Meader.
All right, Vaughn. Number 1, baby. Number 1, baby. Here we go, Vaughn.
Sir, would you do us the honor of selecting your own First Lady?
Yes, I certainly would. Now, I would like to commend number 3. She certainly did answer the questions with vigor. However, I think that number 2, I doubt if you were the real one. You're probably a Republican.
Yo, what?
Did you find this a fascinating experience?
Yes, and I decided to leave the panel just the way they were originally.
Yes, dude! This has never happened before. I've never gotten one right off the bat before. I'm getting better, dude.
Eventually, Bud Collier was a gift from CBS.
Oh, boy. Well, Vaughn and Naomi, thank you very much for gracing our show tonight. I understand you're about to embark on a national tour.
Yes. Well,
Yes!
I've just recently started, and tomorrow we'll be in Philadelphia, and then the Academy of Music there will be traveling all over the country and wind up in Los
Dude, that
Angeles.
show already happened so long ago. I don't care about your stupid show.
Information of changing from a record album to a stage presentation.
Well, we think it's a new concept. The director, Mickey Ross, has presented a new concept, I think, in comedy concert. I think is new and as interesting as the album itself. I hope it is to most people.
Well, we certainly wish you well. I hope it's the brightest year that you've had thus far. You've earned it, believe me. It's been a joy to have you with us.
Thank you.
Great show. Now let's find out about about these two other lovely young ladies? Number 2, you got one of the votes. What is your real name and what do you really do?
I'm Sandy Barkin, and I'm a fashion coordinator.
Fashion coordinator.
And number 3, you got the lion's share of the votes. What is your real name and what do you do?
My name is Harriet Perlow, and I'm a wig maker.
Nice.
Well, we thank you and hope we gave you just one half the fun.
Love that. I love that she fooled 2 of them. She almost fooled me too.
You fooled them pretty much down the line. There were 1, 2, 3 incorrect. They're $250 each for a total of $750 from Salem Cigarettes, as well as the carton of Salem's on the way out. Thank you again for being our guest. Goodbye and God bless you.
Gave him a free carton of cigarettes on the way out.
Panel, you've had a look. Now let's have a listen as you take out your next affidavit card and follow along with me. I, Joe Kittinger, am a captain in the United States Air Force. I am a pilot, a high-altitude balloonist, and a test parachute jumper. In 1960, I jumped from an altitude of more than 100,000 feet. I dropped for 4 minutes and 37 seconds, a total of 6.5 miles, before opening my parachute. In doing so, I established 2 records which are still unbroken: the highest parachute jump in history and the longest free fall. My most recent high-altitude experiment was a balloon ascension for Project Stargazer. Astronomer William C. White and I shared the unique experience of studying the stars without the normal interference caused by the Earth's atmosphere. Signed, Joe Kittinger. Panel, these 3 gentlemen all claim to be Captain Joe Kittinger, balloonist, parachutist. And we'll start this questioning with Tom Poston. Tom?
Well, thank you, Bud. Number 2, what did you wear when you made the free fall, the long free fall?
So Tom starts out by asking number 2. I think he just like me assumes this guy's the parachute guy. You know, he looks like a parachute guy. So that's my mind going right off the bat. Number 2 has to be it. But hey, we'll see, baby.
Wore an Air Force pressure suit.
And thank you. Number 3, how did you breathe?
I had an oxygen tube attached to the risers on my chute.
And where did the oxygen come from?
It came from the tube. It came from the cylinder through a tube into my mouth.
Came through the tubes, around the corner, out the boobs, baby. I forgot what the old saying is. Up the butt, around the corner, through the tubes, and out the boobs, baby. That's where you put that parachute.
I see. Thank you. Number 1, how far up can you go without being in trouble, without oxygen?
Without oxygen?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on who you are, but anywhere from 10 to 20,000 feet.
Up as high as 20,000, eh? Thank you. Number 2, what did you look at the stars through? If I may end the subject in a sentence in a preposition.
Peggy Cass.
They also ended the subject for you.
They looked at the
Number
stars
3.
through Peggy Cass.
Number 3, did you pack your own chute?
No, I did not.
Number 2, did you let somebody else pack your chute?
Oh, yes.
Number 1, I would have packed my own chute. Number 2, is your chute made out of nylon?
Yes, a canopy is.
I see. Number 3, how come William C. White doesn't have any interference? Does he jump out too?
I don't understand the question.
Well, it says William C. White, the astronomer, has this experience of studying the stars without the normal interference. Who's William C. White?
William C. White, ma'am, is an astronomer. I was along on the flight as the balloon pilot.
Oh, number 2, William C. White goes up in a balloon. I don't understand.
It's all very confusing.
Astronomer.
Theo.
Number 2, you wore a suit, right?
Yes.
Did you wear anything else? Does the suit cover the head as well?
The helmet covers the
There
head.
is a helmet. Is there a steady compression in the helmet?
Above 40,000 feet, there is a steady pressure in the helmet.
Number 1, when you had that rapid fall, did you experience a rapid compression?
No.
May I ask why not?
Because during you are under compression in the suit, and the pressure outside doesn't have any effect on it.
Doesn't have any effect.
Controlled automatically.
You test
Kitty.
parachutes. What
Number
do you do when
one.
they don't open?
I'm sorry.
Number one, who was the first balloonist in history?
I don't know.
Do you know number two?
The Montgolfier brothers were the discoverers of balloons 1783.
Thank you. Number three, can you tell me what happens at Mount Palomar that has anything to do with what you do?
Well, there is a large observatory and a very large telescope at Mount Palomar.
Thank you. Number two, can you tell me in a small sentence, I know it's difficult, of anything that you learned that was specifically unusual about seeing the stars at this altitude?
We demonstrated it could be done safely, economically, and quickly.
Thank you.
And that's all the time we have. So, panel, safely, economically, and quickly, mark your ballots. Mark them at once, and without change, if you will, please. And also without any consultation whatsoever as you vote.
No change, no consultation. Oh, this is tough. Ugh. The one had that compression question, which was very tough. Because I feel like the person who's jumping in the balloon might not know that, but the people who set it up for them will. I think they're just kind of there to do that, but I don't 100% know. I'm not a balloon diver. My original gut was 2. 3 seemed very confident with his answers. Fuck. I'm going with number 3. I'm just gonna go with number 3.
For number 1, number 2, or number 3. All set, everyone? Tom, for whom did you vote this time?
I voted for number 2. He didn't seem to have Jackie Kennedy's sibilant S, and I think that... No, I like the way his answers came out. He had a certain command of Army-type language or Air Force-type language, which was...
That's who I thought it was originally too, but I didn't want to go with my gut original answer, dude. So I changed it. Oh, this is gonna bite me. This is gonna bite me so hard.
Indicated that he was the one to me.
Peggy.
Well, I voted for number 3. Number 1, I have a feeling you would be compressed and going down. I'd feel compressed or oppressed. And number 3 knew where the observatories were, and what better for a boy that takes astronomers up in the balloon. I mean, I don't know. He looks like a kid could do it.
You voted for 3, didn't you?
Yes, number 3, he could do it.
Theo, your vote.
But you just loaded number 2. Well, I wanted to vote for number 2 because I know that safely and quickly is a motto of the Air Force, but economically has never entered into any of their deliberations. So I voted for number 3. That's why.
Okay.
And Kitty, what is your choice?
I voted for number 2, well, because of the Montgolfier brothers, but also number 3 winked at me. I have to tell the
Oh, that's funny.
The real one always tries to keep a terribly, terribly serious expression to pretend he's not there at all. So I voted for number 2.
I voted for 3 because he winked at me.
Well, let me have it 2 and 2. 2 for 2, 2 for 3. Let's find out now whether this split vote means anything or not, and how right or wrong we may be with our reasons as we learn which one of these 3 gentlemen is the real balloonist parachutist. Will the real Captain Joe Kittinger please stand up?
Damn it, dude.
Incidentally, Captain
They are
Kittinger...
economical.
Incidentally, Captain Kittinger has written...
Oh my God, that makes me so angry.
The Long, Lonely Leap. Interesting title, too. Number 1, would you tell us your real name and what you really do, please?
My name is Richard Beringer, and I'm an architect.
And number number 3, what is your real name, sir, and what do you do?
My name is Ed Mulfeld, and I'm the advertising director of Popular Boating Magazine.
He looks like a boater, dude. And he's winking at women. Of course he's a boat guy.
2, and that means 2 incorrect, 2 correct. And the 2 incorrect are the ones that interest you most because they are 2 at $250 each for a total of $500 for you gentlemen to divide among you, and may it bring you nothing but happiness. Thank you very much for being with us, and our thanks also from the makers of Salem cigarettes, who have for you a carton of Salem's on your way out in addition to the money you won. Good night, and God bless you.
I wonder how much a carton of cigarettes were in 1963. Because now they're what, like $80, if not more? How much was a carton of cigarettes? I'm looking it up. In 1960. I'm only getting packs, so let me see how much a pack was. Okay, so someone commented on Quora. I was buying a carton of Marlboros for $2.50 a carton in 1972. They were 30 cents in a mechanical machine. Some are saying 35 cents, so a carton would have been $3.50. Wow. Cigarettes were cheap for a pack of them. That's crazy.
I, Richard McKenna, served 22 years as an enlisted man with the United States Navy. I served in China, Korea, and the Far East. At the age of 40, I retired from the Navy and entered the University of North Carolina. I graduated with a Phi Beta Kappa key and a straight A average. After graduation, I started work on a novel. The book, published January 2nd, is called The Sand Pebbles. Even before publication, it was chosen as the Harper Prize Novel of the Year and as a Book of the Month Club selection. The Sand Pebbles has already been sold to motion pictures for more than $100,000. Signed, Richard McKenna.
So they did a good job with this group right here. 3 looks like a novelist. Like he looks like he writes novels. Maybe it's just the glasses, I don't know. Number 2 looks nervous. I don't know if he's just nervous to be in public. That's another kind of aspect you got to think about. He definitely could be. And then number 1 looks like he could have been part of the army too, but those 2 don't look like writers necessarily. But I guess you don't necessarily have to look like a writer to be one. Okay. I don't even have like a pre-guess on who I think it is. It could be any one of them, to be honest. So I guess I'll just wait for the questions.
Very well, panel. I think you'll agree. 3 gentlemen with a very interesting story, and they all claim, of course, to be the liver of that story, namely Richard McKenna, new novelist. And let's start this round with Theo.
Number 2, when you entered the university, you'd just been discharged, or retired, rather, from the Navy? What
That is
rank?
right.
With what rank?
As a chief yeoman.
Chief yeoman. Did you have to go to any college? Did you have to acquire any college, any degree before entering the university?
No, I entered as an entering student.
Number 1, where is Dilan? D-I-L-A-A-N.
I don't know.
Number 3, do you know?
Will you spell that again?
D-I-L-A-A-N.
Never heard of it.
Kitty.
Number 1, who did you sell your book to? What company?
Harper Row.
Harper Row?
Harper Row.
No, I mean the motion picture company.
Oh, that's the Mirish Brothers.
Number 2, what are the names of the Mirish brothers?
I don't know the Mirish brothers.
You don't know them?
No.
You just sold it.
That's right.
Number 3, do you know who Herb Mays is?
I've heard the name. I think he's a columnist or something, but no more than that.
Number 1, how long were you at the university?
3 years.
What does Phi Beta Kappa mean?
That's that's the Scholastic Award for one who
I know what
achieved-
the award is, but what does it actually mean?
Tom,
Phi
I
Beta
can't take
Kappa.
any more time. I'm sorry. Tom?
Number 2, what are galleys?
Galleys are long pages of proof.
Thank you. What do you do to galleys, number 3? Can you tell us?
Well, you read through them for errors and incorrect printing and so forth, correct them.
What's that called, number 3?
Well, reading proof.
Thank you. Number 1, then what do you do with those galleys? What happens to them after they're proofread?
After they're proofread, they go back to the author.
Well, after he gets through with them. Then what happens to the galley eventually? Why is it ever made up, is what I mean.
Well, this is to prevent excessive expense in correcting errors in typing, in the printing of the book.
Number 2,
Peggy.
number 2, there's another kind of a galley. What do you do there?
Well, a galley is a ship.
And number 3, what do you do in the galley of the ship?
Well, you cook food and...
Thank you. Number 1, what is a Mustang?
A Mustang is an enlisted man who achieves officer rank.
Thank you. There's a certain rate in the Navy that's known as the missing link, number 2, who's known as the missing link. What is that?
Missing link. I'm not familiar with the
Number
missing
1, do you know?
I'm not sure. It may be Commodore.
Number 3, do you know?
That's all the
no,
time we
no.
have, I'm sorry to say. So have no missing links as you mark your ballots and do so.
Oh my god, they were all so bad at answering questions. They were all terrible at answering questions, dude. They were all fucking terrible at answering questions. So this leaves me with a difficult choice. This leaves me with the most difficult choice of all time. Number 3.
So now, please, immediately and without change. And of
Oh,
course,
I gotta do what the show does too. I gotta start doing that. I didn't even think about that. They explain why, the reason why. I picked number 3 because I think he answered the questions with the most confidence. Number 1 bumbled about a ton. Did not give a clear answer for really anything. And number 2 didn't necessarily answer the questions that well either. Number 3 didn't either, but I felt like he answered them a little bit better than the others. At least he was more confident in his answers, so that's why I went with number 3.
no consultation as you vote for number 1, number 2, or number 3. All ballots marked. All right, Tom, which one do you think is the real one this time?
I voted for number 1. He looks like he might have that kind of pluck. How's that? To enter a university after he's finished a tour of duty, or at least several tours of duty. I see 22 years. He just has that air about him, and I think it's great.
Peggy.
Well, I voted for number 3 because he looks sort of young to me, and I feel that it was a boy who must have joined the Navy before he got out of high school and really had a brain, and when he got out, went to college and still remains like... He looks as though he wrote that book to me, that's all.
Theo.
Well, I didn't vote for 3 because he has glasses. I didn't vote for 2 because he thought galley is a ship, and I voted for number 1 because the land is no such place.
Hey, your vote.
I voted for number 1 for 2 very specific reasons. One was that he smiled when Bud said the book had been sold for $100,000. And 2, he has the eyes of a man who's been in the Navy for a long, long time, that kind of blue, faraway look.
All right, let's see how right or wrong we are as we break this all down now into the truth itself and learn which one of these gentlemen actually is the novelist. So will the real Richard McKenna please stand up?
Yes, dude! If I could do a backflip, I would.
Thank you, sir, and much success. Much continued success, I should say. Number one, you got the most of the votes here. What is your real name and what do you really do?
My name is Ted Keegan, and I'm a district manager for Shell Chemical Company.
And number two, may we have your real name, sir, and what you do?
My name is Jack Rogers, and I'm a member of the House of Representatives of the state of Washington.
Well, we thank all of you for giving us such a pleasant evening. And pleasant to you, of course, is the news that you came very close to fooling the panel all the way. And 3 incorrect votes at $250 each. That's $750 easily divided and may bring you great joy. That, of course, is from Salem Cigarettes as well as a carton of Salem's on your way out. And we thank you. Goodbye and God bless you.
Yes, dude! Yes! I did it. I did it! I did it. 2 for 3. 2 for 3 on the day. Let me just go back to that. Look at that lovely 2 for 3. Get that nice and big. Yeah. I went 2 for 3. Yeah. I picked out those liars and I knew exactly what I was doing. I knew exactly how to guess for these dang liars, and they were lying their little tails off. Lying their little tails off, and I sat there and I knew exactly what to do. Oh, I'm gonna ride this high all night. Oh, baby. Oh, baby, what a day. What a day. Oh my God. Oh, please, please. But there'll be another. But for right now, this is it, you know? This is it. So anyway, yeah. Just keep trucking out there, you know? Yeah, life's tough, you know? Life's tough. Keep trucking, keep keeping on, and I wish anyone who watches this the best, you know? Give you some kisses. And I'll send you on your way. Thanks for watching. Oops. Wrong thing. Bye.